Streets flipped, anger and tension amped. Phoenix police vowing to keep the peace, holding their ground, working in and out of those crowds. But the tipping point, police telling ABC 15, was when rocks and bottles were launched at them.
We have team coverage for you tonight from the streets as well as the takeaways from this big night.
First, ABC 15's Kim Tobin. She's live for us near 2nd Street in Monroe. And Kim, what's the temp of the crowd out there right now?
Seems a little bit calmer, you guys, because we were kind of right in the middle of it there. You were following along with us where they were deploying some of that tear gas, those little pops, some of that pepper spray that we got into our eyes, into our mouth and nose, and everyone was kind of coughing and making their way this way. So now we're watching. This is Van Buren and Central, and they've kind of drawn this line with some of these police bicycles, with some of these vehicles here. From what I'm told from some of the people out here, some of these protesters, there was a truck that ended up in the middle of Central. It had a lot of Trump supporters who were leaving the convention center, some young men who were riding in the back of that open air bed truck. They got into some confrontations with protesters, even getting kind of physical at one point. So that truck ended up in the middle of Central. That's why they kind of wound up closing this area down here. And here's a woman who's given some free hugs to police officers. So again, it's kind of calmed down a little bit, but we do want to bring in this gentleman here. This is James. I just got to meet him, and James, you got a little bit of a wound. Kind of show me what happened to you.
Well, actually, a truck got attacked over here, and they're bringing out the windshield, and so I followed about 5 officers over to see what was going on, and it kind of escalated from there. And I seen some tear gas go out a little bit, seen some smoke a little bit, so I kind of backed up over here to the police assault vehicle over here to the back side of it, filming. I was live on Facebook, and then I just started hearing some rounds going off, so I kind of took a step back, and then all of a sudden I heard like a zzz, and then all of a sudden I just got hit right here.
Oh yeah, take a look at that, you guys. So this is kind of his bloody welt that he has on his arm. And show us, you actually picked up would you call it a souvenir? What would you call it? Your blue...
Well, I figured if I was going to get hit with it, I might as well take it home, so I don't know.
That's right. So it's kind of
it's actually
kind of almost a styrofoam ball, if you will.
Yeah, it's kind of soft a little bit, but depending on how fast it's going when it hits you. So.
And you said you're just lucky you didn't get hit in the face with it.
Oh yeah, I'm very thankful for that. Yeah.
So yeah, a little bit of a bloody mark that he has here. James, thank you. We're glad that you're safe here too. So that was the moment where they kind of dispersed that crowd. We saw a woman who was pushing a man into the street at Central. We talked to that woman. She told us that her little brother was getting pushed in. We tried to interview her. She held her hat over her face. She said she didn't have a name. She says she's all about peace, but if you're going to try to mess with her family, she's not going to stand down here. So it's calmed down a little bit. You were with us when we were kind of all coughing and choking a little bit there on the pepper spray, some of that tear gas, but just watching the situation here, it's kind of calmed down. That line has been drawn again, and they are trying to get everyone to get home, get out of here of downtown Phoenix. So again, we're at Central and Van Buren. We're going to check in with you guys in just a little bit. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Kim, stay safe yourself. Thank you. And we want to take you to another look at the riot lines formed by police to keep everybody safe. They've been issuing commands to get back, but some people simply not listening, staying out there. As we mentioned, some even throwing the tear gas canisters right back at police.
And we want to show you some viewer video sent to us of this tear gas. This was taken from a parking garage right above this intersection just after that tear gas was deployed. And this was our first sign of trouble when we saw those clouds in the street and people running, people covering their eyes and noses, the irritation from that gas going through their nostrils and their throat. And that's what it's meant to do. It's meant to be uncomfortable, but not necessarily permanent and harmful at the same time. But it gives you an idea of just some of the chaos right in the aftermath of these tear gas canisters and the very first signs that a confrontation had happened.
And the protests, certainly a big headline, obviously, from tonight. But the actual speech lasting almost 90 minutes, important as well. Large numbers of supporters and opponents out there.
Yeah, Nick Saletti is inside the convention center.